Hey guys, it's Miss Price. I hope you have had a wonderful spring break, and we are now back in the routine of, um, you know, having school again. Um, we're gonna start with chapter 6. Um, it is myths from the Pacific Northwest, and there are three vocabulary words I want us to look at. Okay, meek is an adjective. It's gentle, or excuse me, quiet and gentle. Recede is a verb. It's to move back from or withdraw. Vibration is a noun. It's a continuous, fast shaking movement. Okay. And let's look at chapter 6. All right. The big question here is, how do tribes of the Pacific Northwest use myths to explain things in nature? Okay. Um, and this is a rather short um, lesson, so I think, or short chapter, excuse me. So I think I'm going to read this one for you guys if you will just follow along. Okay. Raven steals the light. Raven is a very important character in the mythology of the most Pacific Northwest tribes. He is featured in numerous stories, many of which are creation myths. Creation myths explain how the world began and how people and various animals came into this world. However, in this tale, Raven is not really a creator. He is actually a trickster, meaning that he makes things happen by tricking other characters. The following story explains how light was hidden and then restored. Many years ago, in a house on the banks of the Yakima River, there lived an old man and his grown daughter. You would not have known by looking at his little house, but the old man was very rich. However, he was also very greedy. Every year, many salmon swam past his house. He always caught many more than he needed, and he chased away anyone else who tried to catch them. Go away, he yelled. Those are my fish. These are not your fish, the people told him. The river gave them to us, but the old man ignored them. You'll be sorry if you take my fish again, he warned. When he saw a woman gathering firewood in the forest near his house, the old man yelled, That is my firewood. Go away and find your own. The woman held up the sticks and said, You do not own this wood. The tree gave it to me. The old man only shook his fist and warned, You'll be sorry if you take my firewood again. The old man was so greedy that he would not even share with his daughter. He would not let her take fish from the river. She was allowed to gather roots and berries to eat, but only if she walked far away from the house, so she would not gather any of his foods. When he caught her eating blackberries from a bush near the house, he yelled, Those are my berries. You'll be sorry you took them. But the bush gave them to me, his daughter said in a meek, nervous voice. This made the old man very angry. He was tired of people stealing from him, but he knew how to stop them once and for all. People could not steal his things if they could not see them. However, he was so rich he could not hide all the things he owned. So he decided to hide the light instead. The old man took the sun and moon and all the stars from the sky, and he put them in a box. And he hid the box in his house and refused to tell anyone where it was. Then the whole world was dark. When people needed firewood, they had to crawl out into the darkness and search the ground with their hands until they found something that felt like wood. When they were hungry, they had to crawl into the river and feel around in the water until a fish swam into their hands. Life without light was very hard, and soon the people were cold and hungry, and a sadness filled their hearts. But Raven heard about the greedy old man who stole the sun and the moon and the stars, and he came up with a plan to steal them back. Raven followed the old man's daughter when she went out searching for food. She searched in the darkness and found a blackberry bush. The thorns pricked her fingers as she searched for berries. Clever Raven turned himself into a blackberry, and she picked him and ate him. Then Raven was in her belly, and he became her child. Months later, Raven was born. The old man did not like having a baby in the house. To make matters worse, Raven grew very quickly, and soon he was a curious, energetic boy. He asked questions about everything, and he always wanted the old man to tell him stories, sing songs, and play games. The old man did not like any of these things, but Raven asked him every day anyway. Grandfather, I am bored, Raven said. Will you play a game with me? No. Will you tell me a story? No. Then what can I do? I am bored. The old man fumbled around in the dark trying to find something for Raven to play with. Raven refused everything he offered. I already played with that. That is boring, Raven said. If only I could see, then maybe I could find something to do, but it is too dark. Then the old man had an idea. He went to his secret hiding place and pulled out the box. He gave the box to Raven and said, Here, play with this. This will keep you busy for a while. Just don't show anybody else. Now leave me alone. Raven opened the box, and the light of the sun and moon shone on his face. Then the old man could see that he had been tricked. Grasping the box in the talons, Raven flapped his wings and flew out of the house. He flew and flew way up high in the sky. And there he emptied the box, and the sun and moon and stars all returned to their places, and the light was restored. Now here's another myth, guys. Thunderbird and killer whale. Thunderbird is a mythical creature common in most Pacific Northwest cultures. It is also a common theme on totem poles or ceremonial costumes. In most stories, Thunderbird was a kind and powerful creature who often helped people. The story of Thunderbird and killer whale appears in many tribal mythologies. Like many myths, this one was used to create certain aspects of nature or important events. There are two natural events or phenomena explained in this story. Can you tell me what they are? One day, Killer Whale arrived in the waters and attacked all the other fish. Killer Whale was hungry and he ate many fish. Eat were the fish he did not eat were so scared they swam away to other waters. Then the people could not find any fish for themselves and they began to starve. Thunderbird was a big, mighty bird. His bright, colorful feathers were as long as canoe paddles, and his talons were like harpoons. When he flapped his great wings, the sound of thunder rumbled through the skies. One day, Thunderbird was flying along the coast. He looked down and saw the people were starving. This made Thunderbird sad because he loved the people and did not want them to suffer. He asked them why they did not have any fish, and the people told him about Killer Whale. This made Thunderbird very angry. Thunderbird found Killer Whale and swooped down out of the sky. Thunderbird grabbed Killer Whale with his talons and tried to carry him away, but Killer Whale put up a fight. He wrestled free from Thunderbird's grasp and fell down into the ocean with a great splash. The splash was so big that it shook all the waters and even the land. The waters rose up and covered the land. Trees were ripped from soil, houses were shattered, and many people died before the ocean waters receded. Thunderbird and Killer Whale fought for many days. At last, Killer Whale knew he could not win, and he swam away. Gradually, the fish returned and the people had food again. Ever since, the people had never forgotten about how Thunderbird helped them. According to the story, Thunderbird's wings caused the sound of the thunder. This is common in most Thunderbird myths, but this story seems to explain something else. Many researchers believe this story is about a tsunami or tidal wave that struck the Pacific Northwest hundreds of years ago. Tsunamis are caused by earthquakes in the Earth's crust, deep beneath the Earth's surface. The vibrations from the earthquake create waves, and if the earthquake is strong enough, these waves can form a tsunami. Tsunamis are very destructive when they strike land. It is no surprise that the survivors would mark the event with a myth like this. And tomorrow we'll read Severing Ties, which is chapter 7. Okay. But I want us to look at um, our workbook again. There are actually only 2 questions I want you to work on. Okay, the first one here is, which character in Thunderbird and Killer Whale reflects Native American values and beliefs about nature? And then you're going to cite evidence from the text. I'll give you the page number in just a moment. Okay. And then number 2, what natural events are described and explained in the myth, Thunderbird and Killer Whale? All right. And so I'll give you that page number as well. Let me see. Just need to find those page numbers for you. Okay. So for number 1, and I'll put these on the assignment. Okay. I want you to write down, or just mark page 56 in your reader. It's where you'll find the answer. And then for number 2, page 57. Number 2, page 57. And that'll go right there. Okay. And those are the only 2 questions you have. Um, and I'll be looking at those when you turn those in. I'll say that this is due, oops, sorry, that this is due probably tomorrow around 6 o'clock, and then I'll do another lesson for you, chapter 7, tomorrow afternoon. Okay? I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.